That's right. It is Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B. I got my boys Will Vogel, Eric Dalton, and Detroit Dom with me. What's up, fellas?
Not much.
How we doing?
Ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
How's it going, brother? Love you, man.
Yeah, love you too, Eric. And we got our first comment. Brian Three Cushions, also known as Brian Roy, says, "Hi, guys. It's been a minute since we had Eric on, and Detroit Dom has missed the last couple of these. But, hey.
Yeah, life is finally starting to get somewhat normal. We had my sister-in-law's
Hey, Jeremy, what do you know about being a running back coach?" Actually,
I was just about to say, you see who the candidates are?
Yeah, I saw Kevin Smith is there. I kind of like it.
I like Kevin Smith. I really do.
And he's the current running backs coach for Miami, and they ran all over people. They could run the ball well. They just couldn't throw it very well. That's why they didn't do that well.
I really like that one. Actually, more I'm pondering that one and gnawing on that one. I really like that.
And we got Keegan Eckert
about the Homer hires.
We got Keegan Eckert saying, "Hey guys, Patty Grimes. I love the fact he said, Jeremy, what do you know about being a running back coach?" And Mark Mallett comes up and goes, "Woo!" So let's get into the topics. And once again, Tom Brady retires again. Will, what do you think?
I heard it on PTI, and I kind of have the same feeling. And Tony Kornheiser says he's going to be sitting out a few months. He'll contemplate coming back, and then he'll have that itch to come back and play. In this form, he kind of sounded more serious, but it makes you think. If he sees other quarterbacks go to hot markets, he may have that itch, like Tony said, and come back. So it's a toss-up, but we'll see. Who knows?
All right, Dom, what do you think?
I'll believe it when I see it. It's Tom Brady. It's the blood oath. He's what, 45?
45.
Okay, so theoretically he's got 30 more years to play. There are too many teams looking to upgrade to a veteran quarterback. You know, I mean, there's probably almost a dozen teams that think they're a veteran quarterback away from contending, but in reality, there's probably 4 or 5. You got Frisco, Raiders, Tennessee, Miami. Why would he Indy? Why would he retire now? Like, you know, Giselle was trying to make him retire. They're divorced. It's not like he's got anyone to go home to. And it would be different if he had, you know, a terrible season and looked washed. Like, he's still Tom Brady.
I mean, he still was in the top 10 in yardage and touchdowns. So
right. There are definitely teams that are vying for his services. Even if maybe like Will said, maybe waits a few weeks into the season. You know? Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Eric?
I call BS. 1 year ago today, he announced his retirement, and then 2 weeks later, he unannounced. So
2 months. 2 months.
Yep. So, 2 months. Anyways, it was quick.
It was a convenient way of saving Tampa money because he was due his roster bonus. He came back the day after the roster bonuses were paid.
Yep. And there are too many teams in play. Somebody offers him a lucrative deal, like basically like, okay, we'll get you advertisement money plus your salary. Yeah. I'm like, he's basically hedging the hog right now.
He is.
Yeah, and I promise you, he either stays retired. I'm guessing he stays retired until at least till after free agency, till he sees who goes where, what opportunities are still available.
I agree. I agree 100% with that one.
I hope he stays retired. Actually, no. I hope he comes back and just embarrasses himself.
He won't.
Keegan King S.
He's an alien, for crying out loud. I mean, to be 45,
Well, he's
Peyton
immortal.
Manning, Elway, Montana, everybody just dropped down here. At 45, he was still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. That's just insane. He's an anomaly.
It's the
beat
blood oath. That's what the
narrative.
blood oath will do for you.
He beat the narrative.
I have
When you go over 40, you go over a hump and you don't return to your normal self. Well, guess what? He found the dang fountain of youth.
The blood oath.
Yes, basically.
I think
Something.
he blew off Satan, and the semen is the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I got a few comments to adjust. King SJ says hello all. Keegan Eckert says the U in Tua is underthrow.
Oh, I thought the U would be for useless because I think he is.
Patty Grimes, he can come in to back up Goff. And my dad says, I believe if the right team makes an offer, he will probably return, in my opinion. I'm going to say he's going to wait till after roster bonuses are due and save whatever team he goes to money, because the only time Tom Brady's win is when he's under market value and he goes to San Francisco to teach Brock Purdy and Trey Lance how to throw, because Brock Purdy's going to miss probably half the season after he has this
whole year. Tommy John out for the year.
Oh, he is having the surgery. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey Lance is going to miss probably the first quarter of the season still from his ankle injury. So I think they're already not bringing back Jimmy G. They've said this.
Yeah, they said that today.
So I think that he'll end up in San Francisco.
Yep. Same
And
here.
Big Dan Davis, Tom Brady will be back. He'll go to the 49ers, in my opinion. Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
I think it's either him or Rodgers goes.
Brady, Rodgers, Octagon, fight to the death. Whoever lives, Frisco.
So Denver had an option.
Well, whoever loses goes to the Colts.
Denver had an option where they wanted Demico Ryans, and he turned them down to take a 6-year deal with the Texans. That being said, that they did the next best thing they could, and it's probably the best thing for Russell Wilson, and I'll tell you why. They traded a first-round pick, the only first-round pick they had left this year, and
for
next year's
30 years.
Next year's second-round pick to New Orleans to get back next year's third-round pick and Sean Peyton. And the reason why I said that might be the best thing that could have happened to Russell Wilson, and hear me out here, there was a certain washed-up QB that was kicked to the curb in a little town called San Diego, and Sean Peyton says, I'll take him, and he turned him into one of the best QBs in the league.
In league history.
The story is right. Some of your adjectives are not. He was a washed up. He was like 27 years old.
Yeah, but he was coming off a horrible injury.
Horrible injury. Everybody thought he'd never be good again, and he really wasn't. That's why Phillip Rivers got the start.
Well, if Miami gets a second opinion on Drew Brees and ends up getting him, the Alabama dynasty never exists.
Right. I understand
That'd
that.
be awesome.
That being said, I think Sean Payton going to Denver is probably the best thing that could have happened for Russell Wilson, is all I'm saying.
And you know what? I agree. I'll make a point real quick. I agree. He's playing with a guy who's basically the same, maybe a little bit taller than Drew Brees, can scramble. And you know what? I think, and I heard this too somewhere, and I agreed with this person. Sean Payton is going to go to Russell Wilson in the offseason, sit with him, say, here's the playbook. What plays do you want to run? And what Hackett did was, we're going to do these plays whether you like it or not. I think Sean Payton's going to take his time and sit with Russell Wilson and say, I'm going to give you this playbook. And we're going to sit together and we're going to pick each and every play you want to run and all of my input on it. And anything you don't want to do, we won't do. So I think Sean Peyton is an amazing hire. Sure, you have to give up draft capital, but you know what? I bet
What's
Russell
one
Wilson
more
was
first-round
jumping
pick?
for joy when Sean Peyton came. As much as of a Carolina Panther fan I am, and I dislike the Saints, Sean Peyton is an absolute amazing NFL head coach.
I agree.
I refuse to believe that Russ is actually washed.
I
don't
do
know
too.
what happened this year, but there's no way he's
Nathaniel
really that
Hackett
bad.
calling Nathaniel Hackett calling plays for Aaron Rodgers is what happened.
True.
For Russell Wilson, you mean? Oh no, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
It kind of like last year when we had an offensive coordinator calling plays for a QB we didn't have.
Yeah, I think Will was spot on with his assessment, like 100% spot on. And if McVay does, Peyton does do that, I foresee them actually being 100% better. That draft capital is going to hurt them in the long run, but you know what? It's Peyton. They'll figure it out in the next 5
one
years.
more first-round pick?
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, look at the Rams. They maneuvered how many first-round picks and
they gave themselves a 2-year window. They got a title, and then lost their left tackle and their best pass rusher. But they got a title.
Yep, exactly. I see the same thing. So Will was spot on with that one.
Appreciate it.
Spot on.
How many Super Bowls does Mike McCarthy? I think he meant McCarthy. Yeah, Mike McCarthy has. I saw something on Coward's show not too long ago. Mike McCarthy has a ring. I forgot about that. And a better regular season record than a lot of coaches that people consider better than him. Doesn't mean that he's better.
Right.
Like you only got one ring with Aaron Rodgers. You underachieved.
Sean Payton any day over Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy.
And you got no rings with Dak.
Yeah.
nor do I think
rumors. All those rumors for 2 years about Sean Payton going to Dallas. Notice that didn't happen.
I think McCarthy's going to get fired next year.
I'm going to.
I honestly think McCarthy's gone next year.
I want to catch up on a couple of comments here. Keegan Eckert, honestly, Brady wants a spotlight. He retires before the Super Bowl 2 years in a row that he isn't in, and that everyone is talking about him. Aaron Glenn comes in and says, "Hey guys, good to know you. Off to Indy I go. See ya. I might take Deuce from the Panthers. He just got there." And Denver had to give up picks for Russ, and now Sean Payton. Do they have any draft capital left? They will have fourth through seventh round this year, and third through seventh round next year.
But the thing is, if Russ rebounds, that's a playoff team.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And Patty Grimes says, "I hope Sean Payton can throw." Keegan Eckert, and Payton wanted to coach Kyler Murray. He goes to a guy that is actually playing and plays the same way. And Russ, they pretty much do, because Kyler Murray doesn't run to contact either. It's actually Kyler Murray plays like Russ, but with less arm talent.
Yes.
Kyler Murray's out like pretty much all of next, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's pretty much done until I think probably week 12, 13.
Aaron Glenn, I think you'd be better off taking the Arizona job, but that's just me.
I would take.
And he doesn't have a quarterback, and they don't have any wide receivers. At least you have both in Arizona.
And their GM's a goof, and their owner's a nutcase.
Aaron Glenn already basically said he's staying. I mean,
no, that was Ben Johnson that said he's staying. Aaron Glenn has second interviews.
But Aaron Glenn, they pretty much alluded to it on his Twitter page.
He can go if he really wants one of those jobs. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If he wants one of them, sure. I wish him all the best. But I don't think he's going anywhere.
That being said, and I alluded to my next topic, Demico Ryans gets a 6-year deal as the head coach in Houston to head the rebuild. What do you guys think about Demico Ryans getting that job? I'll start with you, Eric.
You know what? You may as well pass on me because I really don't know a whole lot about Demico Ryans at all. So
Okay.
it's kind of like Stevie Wonder being your Uber driver.
Okay, Dom, what do you think about it?
What job did he just leave to take that? He was the
Defensive
DC
coordinator
football.
for 49ers.
oh, okay. So the coordinator for the best defense in the NFL.
Yep.
Like all things considered, I get it. Obviously, he's earned the job. I would have probably taken a different job. It makes sense, like that. Now that he's now that he's in coaching, that's probably his dream job.
He's
Go ahead.
actually returning to the team that drafted him where he played for 8 years of his career.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's probably his dream job. However,
Right.
Bob McNair is racist. He's now hired a third black head coach in a third consecutive year. The fact that they gave him a 6-year deal, hopefully this means he can hang around at least an extra year or two. But if I'm Demico Ryans, Aaron Glenn, anyone that's out there interviewing for jobs, even if I'm unemployed, I'm waiting a year because cyclically, very infrequently when there's head coaching vacancies, like there's about 5 a year ish.
Yeah.
Typically, there's maybe one really attractive job offer. Most of the time, it's places who don't want to go coach. I would wait, but I mean, it's it's his hometown team, so I don't blame him. I wish him all the success in the world.
Absolutely, and I agree with that 100%. Keegan Eckert said, so Demico Ryans took the Texans job. Frank Reich goes to Carolina. Peyton to the Broncos. Who is next? Deuce
What's
Staley.
left?
Pretty much. But we're going to get to Will Vogel on the Demico Ryans thing. What do you think?
I like it personally. Him going back to his hometown team, that's pretty cool. So he knows how the Texans play, or maybe. But yeah, he used to play for them, and that team is definitely in need of a rebuild. And yes, you're leaving the best defense in the NFL, but having a head coach job in the NFL is a dream come true for a lot of people. And sometimes if you pass on that window once, the window may not open again. Sure, it may be the most attractive, least attractive job. But if you're like, oh, I'm just going to wait till next offseason and you don't get one, then it looks weird because, like, for example, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth.
It just, you have to jump at the opportunity while it's still open, or else
I don't think he ever got offered a job, though.
No,
but he's had 15 interviews.
If he was going to get a head coaching job, he would have.
And he was offered a second interview 3 years ago with the Texans while they had Watson, and he turned it down. He turned down the second interview. Second interviews 9 times out of 10 means the coach is hired.
Because he read the writing on the wall and was like, I don't want to go be a coach for this racist owner.
That may be.
But yeah, like I said, I said what I need to say. But yeah.
But there's other coaching vacancies still out there, if I remember right. I mean, Arizona, Indy, and there's other OC opportunities out there too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Nathaniel Hackett going to be the OC of the Jets, and Green Bay saying they'll only trade with an AFC partner. Is the writing on the wall that the Jets may make a play to get Aaron Rodgers?
For sure.
I think so.
It's almost like written in stone. King SJ asked a question about coaches and comp picks. If we lose a coach to a head coach position that we get the picks, I believe so. I think it's any move that's considered a promotion. It has to be a promotion. So if they're a positional coach and they get promoted to an OC somewhere else as a hire, I think we don't get third round picks. We get later ones.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
I think
if it's coordinator to head coach, you get better
You
picks.
get third round. You get the third round picks. You get 2 third round picks
Said,
if it's a
take one of those
coordinator.
jobs, Aaron Glenn.
I believe Deuce Staley would give us a 5th round pick.
That was shocking.
Big Dan Davis.
I guess now we don't have a succession plan for Ben Johnson.
We just heard the tight ends coach from Arizona.
Right.
Right.
And he was a guy that was the passing game coordinator in Arizona. And when Cliff Kingsbury let him do it, I think it looked pretty good. But I think as the wheels started to fall off and everything else. Oh, he goes, I know about Staley, but I meant for head coach.
Yeah, if your coordinator gets hired for a head coaching job, you definitely get compensatory picks.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can look it up.
If Aaron got hired as a head coach, it's a 3rd round pick automatically.
Yeah, any coordinator gets promoted to a head coach, it has to be a minority though. If I remember right, it's minority coaches.
Yep.
So if a minority coach gets hired for an upgrade, so if it's a positional coach to a coordinator or a coordinator to a head coach, if it's a positional
coach, apparently.
That even
for head coach.
The Niners just got 2/3 for Demico Ryans.
Right, they get a 3rd this year, compensatory pick, and a 3rd next year.
I'll take 2/3.
That even includes GM, because when Brad Holmes was basically promoted to
let's
general
see.
manager,
Indian Arizona's
got a 3rd round pick.
Indian Arizona coaches that are to be second interviews. There's Aaron Glenn. Arizona's also interviewing Caldwell
again.
No, for the first time.
Didn't he interviewed with someone else already once?
He interviewed with the Texans.
Oh, the Texans.
He also interviewed with the Panthers. And speaking of which, I forgot, because after my show last week, because there was really no news before Wednesday last week, that was when Frank Reich got hired on Thursday last week to be the Panthers coach. And now they snipe out our assistant head coach, and they take away Deuce Staley from us to go join Frank Reich's staff in Carolina. Yet the position has yet to be announced. And I think if he gets offensive coordinator, then we're going to get a 5th round pick this year and a 5th round pick next year.
Yep,
it would make sense there because they're run based. I think he could do great things for Foreman and Hubbard.
I think Hubbard's going to be the bell cow back going forward because he looked pretty stout against us.
I agree. And as a Panther fan, I agree. I think he will be the bell cow back. And I also think Frank Reich was – I miss Wilkes, and I felt like he kind of got screwed over. But I also like Frank Reich because, number one, he played for us. Number two, I know he's dealt with aging quarterbacks, Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan, and someone in the middle. Can't remember who. Someone probably does.
Well, you guys should let Foreman go and give Jamal Williams the bag. We'll take Foreman. No problem.
But as I was saying, I think Reich can. I think Reich will coach Darnold better. But also, if you're the Panthers, I would consider getting CJ Stroud if he's available to push Darnold and say, "Hey, this is your last opportunity."
like you did with Baker.
Gone. Huh?
Like you did with Baker.
Okay, San Francisco got 2 3-round picks for Martin. No, they didn't get any picks for Martin Mayhew. They lost another defensive coordinator to a head coach job at the time, or an offensive coordinator. They got that had nothing to do with that.
Mayhew had nothing to do with that. Mayhew was actually unemployed, hence the reason why they didn't get anything during that time. It was not a move where they sniped Mayhew from Detroit. Mayhew was unemployed. So let's move on from that. If it's not unlike when we sniped Holmes from the Rams, we had basically they got a third round pick for Holmes. Like that
Yeah.
is apples and oranges. An unemployed guy gets you nothing.
I have the feeling Aaron Glenn's going to be hired by one of those two teams, though. In answer to your question, Keegan. And now, Big Dan Veda says at Will Vogel, as a Panthers fan, how you feeling as Frank Wright as your new head coach, and do you think he makes your team better in any way?
I'll go real fast. I am gonna miss the presence of Wilkes because the fans loved him. The players would do anything for him. But I think Frank Reich will make us a tad better. I wouldn't say amazing, but with Brady quote unquote retiring, it's true, which none of us do. If he is in fact retired, I think the NFC South's gonna suck no matter what. But I still think the Panthers will be the best team in the NFC South with like 8 or 9 wins, maybe 7, maybe probably 8. But still, I like Frank Reich a lot. I've been a Panther fan my whole life, and just
the only thing I'm going to say is be wary on one thing. Yep, that's true. But the only thing I'm going to say be wary about is because at Indy, he asked the GM to trade or to sign Phillip Rivers. That didn't end well that season. Then he asked the GM to get him Carson Wentz.
Didn't end well. Same with
that did not start well, ran in the middle well, or end well. And then he says, "All right, fine, trade for Matt Ryan."
Yeah, that's what
maybe that's where Brady goes, just because he's old.
I'm positive.
I've said that before.
I think Wright could give us 8 wins.
The difference is
with no Brady in that division.
But Keegan Eckert says something here. He was doing his mock last night when he saw Frank Reich's presser. He stated he wants a guy that can throw in the pocket, can run when needed to. He basically said this offense is going to be a run-heavy team. He goes, so I think he likes Will Levis or Anthony Richardson.
I would love Anthony Richardson.
If he wants Will Levis, that means he has to get the Panthers GM on the phone and said, hey, we got to get the 6.
I was going to say, you better trade up with us.
What? I want to say something real quick. I think Anthony Richardson is a growing project. I would love Will Levis. If we can't get Stroud,
really,
I want Will Levis.
You like mayo in your coffee?
You know who else likes mayo in his coffee? Sam Howell. That was Sam Howell of North Carolina that liked mayo in his coffee.
Yeah, I remember that.
That just.
Oh, you mean another quarterback from a basketball school?
Yeah. But
like Will Levis.
Will Levis is a little bit better than what Sam Howell was touted to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He just has he had no receivers this year.
You know who?
And it made him look really bad.
The best quarterback from a basketball school ever. You know who it is?
Carolina,
Jay Cutler.
don't move up. Vegas needs a QB. Vegas could go after a veteran QB.
Okay.
No,
Vegas will get a veteran.
Vegas is drafting going to draft a QB because they're going to trade away Carr and get something. And the perfect place for Carr to go where he could actually end up doing something, the Patriots.
Or Indy.
No, I'd say the Patriots.
I'm sorry, but Will Levis is like the cute girl next door, but it's really not that cute when he can't bang the hot chick for prom.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
I mean, he's got the size, he's got the tools and everything else like that.
How many
times have we heard that?
If Vegas is drafting a quarterback, it's going to be Richardson. Because Raiders.
Yeah, I think that's who they'd reach for. But I'm just saying, if you want to make sure you get the quarterback you want, and if it's either one of those, you should be at 6.
The Raiders would draft a kicker to play quarterback, for Christ's sakes. That's how stupid they are.
They would.
No, you know what's going to happen? if he falls there because he hasn't gone yet, they're going to get another wide receiver. They'll take Quentin Johnson at 7.
No, because he's the best wide out in the class. They'll take the guy from Ohio State. They wouldn't. They couldn't possibly take the best wide receiver in the draft. When have they ever done that?
I'm just
Which
saying.
one? The one that was hurt?
No.
No, Harrison's not eligible yet.
Exactly. Harrison
No,
is like
he's
the best
talking.
wide
He's
receiver.
he's actually said it right. Yeah, Smith Najigba that was hurt. He was hurt.
Yeah, Jigba. Like I said, the one that's hurt.
He looked like the man
last year.
Until this year.
Yeah, last year.
Well, yeah, he got hurt. I mean,
Patty
how good
Grimes
do you look from the sidelines?
Patty Grimes called Will Levis Tim Couch.
That's what I've been saying since I heard Will Levis's name. I was like, who's this guy? Oh, Kentucky? Oh, Tim Couch. Okay.
Las Vegas draft the 4 best offensive
No, not even
tackle.
Tim. Not even
close.
Tim
Other thing I was gonna say. What was the dude's name?
Alex Leatherwood.
Yep.
Facebook user says, "What's up, guys? Hey, Facebook user, put your name in the comments so we know who we're talking to." I'm going to say probably Steve Bauer.
Will Levis is basically the Charlie Batch.
Oh, wow. Don't stop with the Charlie Batch hate.
Yeah, stop degrading Charlie Batch.
Okay, touche. I love you both that you fucking did that. That's fucking funny.
I have the feeling the phone is going to ring off the hook asking Holmes for a trade. I do too, because there's going to be Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, a couple of those wide receivers are going to be there. But if I'm staying at 6, let's say the worst case scenario, all those big name defensive ends and D tackles go off the board. Let's say they all go off the board before 6. Because let's say the teams get smart and say,
gone.
Don't say it.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Would you be mad if we take Devin Witherspoon?
Yes.
I would not.
He's 5'10".
And 200 pounds.
He's a corner. Pick 6.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the phone is not ringing whatsoever, even then he's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
5'10". 200
no,
pounds.
I'm taking the Tyree Wilson guy.
Yep, we're gonna convert him to safety because he's too small to.
Why? Don't need a safety.
Exactly, that's my point.
You're going to take a guy and have to convert him and make him change positions.
Dom, that was my point. We would have to convert him to safety first.
No.
And I agree with you.
Wait.
Don't get me wrong. I agree with you.
Don't get me
he's
wrong.
Not a corner.
Wait. He started out at safety and moved to corner. He tackles great. He helps in the run game. He actually is a ball hawking corner too.
Who are we talking about? Sorry.
5'10".
Devin Weathers.
Too small.
With a 42-inch vertical, he's not too small.
5'10" is.
He's still too small. That 42-inch vertical actually depletes in 4 years. That 4 years depletes. Look at anything Charles Woodson and Deion Sanders did. Their leap actually decreased within 5 years.
And where did they move?
But they were taller.
Wait. Where did they move? After
Woodson
they lost their vertical?
Safety, and slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way.
No, you'd have to go straight to safety or slot.
You can't put Devin Witherspoon.
There's not
in
an
the same sentence as
this is
Woodson.
I'd rather have the Indiana guy.
I would not. You mean the Illinois guy? That's who I'm talking about.
Or Illinois, sorry.
That's who I'm talking about. Devin Witherspoon.
No, I thought there was. Oh, the Iowa one. The Iowa one. That's 6'2". Sorry.
What position are we talking about?
Cornerback.
Oh.
The only time you take a corner in the top 10 is if their last name is Woodson or Sanders or Sauce Gardner.
And,
but we all said that too.
Yeah.
Who said he was 5'10"?
You did.
No, I never did. I never said how tall he is. He's 6 foot tall.
He's Riley Moss.
He's
corner. Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Oh, he's Kyler Murray, 6 foot tall.
Devin Witherspoon is 6 foot tall and 205 pounds.
Kyler Murray is the inch-high private eye.
Kyler Murray is 5'9" and a $120 soaking wet. He's Mighty Mouse.
And
Facts.
so
Yeah,
is
literally, I
Witherspoon.
called him
Witherspoon
that.
is 6 foot
Sanders
tall
without
and I got a
the
12-inch
size.
stick.
Yeah, he's 6 foot 205. That's Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah, I believe that when I see it.
I'm
He
looking
stands-
at it.
I believe you, but
Well,
it's a
yeah.
corner.
No thanks. I'll take Joey Porter Jr. over him.
Consensus
Not at
All-American.
6.
Consensus All-American. He's the Tatum Woodson Defensive Back of the Year this year. And he's first team All Big Ten.
I'm calling it right now. The Steelers
Yep.
somehow get Joey Porter Jr.
Oh, they will get him. And you know, I
Oh,
know
yeah.
what the funny thing is Joey Porter Jr. misses 3 games this season. He's got an injury history. And the Iowa cornerback is Riley Mouse. And
Moss.
this is the weakest O-lineman class I've seen in like 4 years.
Well, guess what, Jeremy?
Hmm.
According to ESPN, he's 6'1", 180.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I've never seen him listed less under 6 foot. And that's for 2 years now.
Oh, Kyler Murray was never under 6 foot either.
No, Kyler Murray was 5'10" when he measured
Yeah.
out at the combine.
Oh, but they listed him as a 6 foot. I mean,
Yeah.
he couldn't even get on rides in Cedar
I've
Point.
never seen him listed at 6 foot.
That's a
during draft.
generous.
He's 5'9" and a female.
Yeah. During the whole draft, they were
There's
claiming
one-
he was trying
That's a
to be
generous
6 foot.
6 foot.
Okay, there's one good offensive tackle, and I don't care where he goes. He is going to be a top 10 pick. The rest of them are just meh.
There's a couple
the
good ones.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're all
Zach
like
Zenner.
late. Zach Zenner is going back to
A
school.
center. Oh,
He
he's
went
going
back
back?
to school. Yeah, as
Who are
did
you
Blank.
talking about, Jeremy?
Alawatimi is the center. Zach Zenter's a guard.
Okay. Well, Zenner was actually the center, but Zenner the
Yeah.
center.
Zenner got moved from
Isn't
center
Trenton
last year.
Simpson coming out for Clemson?
Say what?
Isn't Trenton Simpson, speaking of O-line, coming out?
Yeah,
He's a
the
beast.
linebacker. Yeah, Trenton Simpson's coming out. Brian Brisset.
I love Brian Brisset. I'm a Clemson fan. I'll take Miles Murphy, Brian Brisset. Any of those Clemson guys are freaks.
I'm saying there's
Well,
a chance that all of them might be off the board.
I think they will.
Will Anderson, Carter, Brisset, and Murphy may all go off the board in the top 4.
Yeah.
Cool. Please do.
And this
I
draft,
love Will Anderson, but that's just me. But
and I like some of the defensive tackles that are slated to be 2nd round and 3rd round picks. You got the guy that's a tweener out of USC, who is actually one of the most productive defensive tackle DNs in college. That Tua alphabet that starts with yeah.
Whatever.
Tua Tatatapelekatikikilo. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you almost
that
have
guy-
to start clicking. Go.
Yeah. And yes, he's Samoan, but he's a Tua that doesn't mean underthrow with the U.
Ohio State also has a defensive lineman too.
Wait,
that
so
I
you're
would
from
like. and
K-State?
there's another one I wouldn't pronounce.
Say what?
From K-State.
Ohio State has. Ohio
I'm
State
talking
has
ab-
that defensive lineman too. That's kind of
I'm
almost
talk-
like Tua, whatever the hell his name is.
I'm trying to.
I wouldn't mind him either.
The guy I'm talking about is from USC.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying OSU has one too. That's like my Tua, whatever unpronounceable name that is a beast too.
The guy that I heard's a beast for him is Zach Harrison. I don't know how that. That's the only one I've heard
The
about.
one that basically destroyed Penn State when Penn State should have won that game against Ohio State. It was like Tulai something.
Jeremy.
Well, guess what, Jeremy? If we're going to let all those DNs walk or cut them in the offseason, then we probably need to draft one somewhere.
Not really. We still got Pascal. We still got James Houston. We still got Hutchinson. We still you know, we
Right.
We
But
haven't
word
even
on the
got-
street is they want to keep Hutchinson, or not Hutchinson, sorry, Houston as rotational.
and like I said, in that second round, that's hell yeah, smoking dad.
Your dad had a good question. I was wondering that.
Yeah,
too.
I saw the name Karras, and I was wondering if he is related to Alex Karras.
I wonder if it's blood. That'd be sick.
Mungo like candy.
Ted
For who?
Karras? Oh no.
Oh, you guys are all too young. You didn't get that one.
What?
The-
Oh yeah, I did get that. That's a Blazing Saddles. But anyways,
Yes.
I'm going to get into a mock draft simulator and pause it just to look at something.
Oh, the Karras kid.
What
Hey, Will.
position?
Alex Karras played for the Detroit Lions. He was also in a movie called Blazing Saddles.
If
you've
I
ever-
know much. I know the history of the NFL. I know who Alex Karras is.
Okay, if you've never seen Blazing Saddles, the Mongo like candy, that's where it was
My
from.
dad knows Blazing Saddles. My dad's 61.
I don't see a single Ohio State defensive tackle listed that came out this year. So he must still be in school.
Must be, because he destroyed Penn State. Like, he literally killed them. He had like 2.5 sacks, interception, fumble recovery for a
Oh,
touchdown.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember.
Yeah,
his
he's
name.
still in school.
Yeah, I think
Damn
he is. Yeah.
Damn it,
I think he's
because
only
he
a
literally
sophomore.
destroyed Penn State.
He's only
Penn
a
State
sophomore.
should have won. Penn State should have won
Keegan
that
got
game.
it. Keegan got it. JT Tulamoleu.
Tua Malau.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some shit
Yeah.
you can't pronounce on a normal day.
Yeah, he's not coming out in the draft this year.
Damn it.
He's
I
next
would
year.
love that guy.
He's
I
only
would
a
love that guy.
sophomore. He has 2 more years though.
He's
And I
just
agree
a
with Big Dan
sophomore.
Davis. Saika Ika out of Baylor, 6'4", 350 plus pounds DT that can act like a nose tackle, but his strength is rushing the passer. Oh,
Hell,
he
even
plays for
Crazy at
Philadelphia.
350. Which is crazy at 350.
Hell, even
Yeah,
He could only be so bad at stopping the run.
Neil Sewell coming out of Oregon.
That's
bringing
Penny's brother, isn't it?
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. That's my only thing is like by wanting to keep Romeo is because we got the Core brothers kind of thing, like the family vibe that Detroit's got going on.
But you
That
can't
is
trust
odd.
you can't trust anyone with the last name Aquara to stay healthy.
Right. That's where I was going. That's exactly where I was going.
Julian can stay because he's still on a rookie contract.
Yep.
I
mean, unfortunately, Romeo is going to cost us dead
Jeremy,
cap space.
Keegan
but
was wondering what mock simulator you use.
PFN and PFF and first pick and there's a bunch of them. But I like PFN because it's the easiest one to use.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody remember the Alex Karras coin toss? He just got in.
Yes. Oh shit! Yes. Being old sucks because everybody else, Dom and fucking Will, are like, oh, what the hell?
I know some stuff way past my age. Should see me on my podcast.
Yeah, well, watch Blazing Saddles, and you know who Alex Karras is.
And Facebook user says, "What up, Smoking Jay? I'm doing good, thank you." That being said, let's talk about the championship games that was last week.
Oh boy.
I got my ass handed to me last week.
Didn't one of the Sewell brothers came out this past year?
Penny.
No. This past draft that we just had, and he was a UDFA. He was a UDFA to the Saints and got cut, and then was signed by somebody else.
No idea.
No idea.
Well, anyways, so in the NFC Championship, we saw the 49ers get decimated by Philadelphia, as I thought they would. Everybody else is saying a close game. I said I didn't think it would be close.
I thought it'd be close.
Well,
but
it would have been close, but
Phil-
Purdy got hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's what
even
I'm
if he
saying. I
doesn't get
thought-
hurt, they still
Yeah,
lose by
Nephi
10.
Sewell came out this past year. Noah Sewell is the Ducks. Another brother.
What I'll say about that game real quick is that game, if Purdy was healthy, it probably would have been like a 10-point game, maybe a 7-point game. But you know what? That Philly defense is scary. Hassan Reddick is very underrated. He played phenomenal.
He's not underrated.
Okay,
He's
not
an all-pro.
underrated, but he's a good player. And then you got other good players on that team like Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis.
Well, when I made my prediction about that Philly game, what did I say? San Francisco is not, since Purdy has been playing the starter at quarterback, they had not played a team of Philly's caliber. And if they get out early to a big lead, I don't think they can keep up. Isn't that not what I said?
No, you
Yeah,
did say that.
I said the
was
same
very-
thing. Like Purdy had not faced even a really good defense yet. The best he faced was Dallas, and they're above average.
They're good but inconsistent.
They have good players. They don't have an elite unit anywhere on the field. Dallas, I mean.
Philly's just stacked everywhere on defense.
Mm-hmm.
The whole roster.
The whole
is
roster.
stacked. That's
The
the
whole
best roster in the NFL.
That was the number one O-line. That was the number one pass rushing D-line. And you can say what you want. 70 sacks says they're the best pass rushing D-line.
Yep.
Number one in the league.
And they're good
Yep.
against the run.
And they're good against the run. And they showed it. Because there for about a quarter and a half, McCaffrey couldn't do shit.
No, exactly.
I mean, but if Purdy would have been like,
I
stayed in the
don't
whole
care
game,
if Purdy
it would
was
have been
healthy.
no. I'm saying it would have been a closer game.
Yeah, they'd have lost 37-17.
Right.
Maybe
10, 14 points.
maybe. I mean, like I was. My thing is, I thought Hurts was still hurt because he
Hurts
obviously
He
is-
is.
is. He is still hurt. He
Yeah.
didn't have that
He
great of a
didn't run-
game. He was 13 of 25 or something like that. He didn't
Yeah.
run all over the place either.
Exactly, and that's where I was kind of going with. It would be a closer game.
Nephi wasn't drafted. He was a UDFA. He was signed as a UDFA.
Who?
Nephi Sewell. They're talking about the Sewell brothers.
Oh, okay. I'm
Nephi
like, I
Sewell,
got lost
Nephi
out
Sewell is the one that came out of Utah last year. It was picked up as a UTFA to the Saints.
Hurts was 15 of 25.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, he didn't have that great of a game. It was
Didn't
above
have to.
50%, but they got Barton Scott and Miles
Yeah, they
Sanders.
got 130 yards and 3 touchdowns from their running backs.
Right. And right now, if Mahomes is even only 80% up to what he was at the beginning of the Bengals game, they may be in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, Philadelphia.
But I
Done.
thought the same thing against Cincy, and he found a way.
No. I said they were beating Cincy. I
I
picked the
did too.
Chiefs.
Me too.
Good for y'all.
And you know what?
Thanks, Tom. I agree with you.
I think
I like the
wanna know-
Bengals. I like Joe
I-
Burrow.
I like the Bengals, but I didn't like that the mayor even got into trash talking and
Right.
calling Arrowhead
And
Burrowhead.
I love Kelsey responding back to made me laugh.
You know what it was with that game? Very well. I mean, it had something to do with Mahomes. It was Marquez Valdez Scandling going over 100 yards receiving, and for the Bengals, Joe Mixon only having 8 carries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for the panel. Do you guys think that Mahomes' ankle has enough time to heal?
Heal?
2 weeks?
No.
Hell yes.
No.
Heal? No, not on a
He's
high
not going to
ankle
heal
sprain.
100. He's not going to be 100%. But Mahomes,
I think he'll be as good or a little better than he was versus Cincinnati is what he'll be.
His ankle looked fine
better.
for like 3 quarters last weekend.
No, I saw it at the end of the first quarter.
Him limping. He limped.
He was visibly limping at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, but 2 weeks to heal.
You were probably watching the game from last year.
He'll be, like I said, he'll be as good or a little better than he was going into the Cincy game.
He'll be better.
This game is going to be tough against a great defense.
Andy Reid loses another Super Bowl against his former team.
Mm-hmm.
That will be fun.
Mahomes will actually be able to run.
So Eric, are you going to be on next week? Are we going to get a Super Bowl pick this week?
No, we're going to do Super Bowl picks next week.
Ah,
I'll be.
I don't want to do it this week. I'm just saying I think it's Phillies to lose at this point.
I was going to say Pro Bowl. Are we talking about the Pro Bowl?
I am going to talk about the Pro Bowl because lo and behold, there's 4 offensive players from the Lions that made the Pro Bowl. Let's start with the first one that made it, which was Frank the Tank Ragnow, correct?
Yep.
And then it was 2 days ago they announced it. Bless you. Okay, that's it. That's 3. I cut it off there.
That was 6.
Yeah, I'm done.
Apparently, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Oh, whose bullshit you allergic to?
Mahomes.
Oh, but anyways, Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra was added 2 days ago, and then we find out today, QB1 of the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, is a Pro Bowler. Now, I wish they'd have announced that before they announced who the third string quarterback is for the AFC side, because it kind of loses its luster when you find out Jared Goff made it after Tyler Huntley.
They're just letting anyone in now.
They let a guy with 1 catch.
Apparently the Pro Bowl this year is like karaoke when there's no one with a little sheet. Oh, you want to go?
Dom, and you said it on your Facebook post, the Pro Bowl hasn't been good since that moment you posted.
Okay, let's look at
this year should be interesting because they're doing skills competitions versus
I do like the skills competitions.
Powder puff football.
I like the dodgeball and the catching things, but I will not watch that game.
I hope that none of the rookie or second-year running backs are playing in that flag football game, because the last time they did some shit like that on the beach, Robert Edwards tore up his knee and was never the same again.
They played on a beach?
Yeah, I mean, this was
years ago.
When Robert Edwards was a good Patriots running back. Is Hutch up for any awards?
Okay.
He's a finalist for... Go ahead,
D-Roy.
Okay, here we go. These are who would have made it. Patrick Mahomes, but he's going to opt out because he's in the Super Bowl, right? Josh Allen, out due to injury. Joe Burrow has an excused absence. Tyler Huntley, replacement. Trevor Lawrence, replacement. And Derek Carr. Running backs are Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry. No questions there. I agree with all 3 of them. Patrick Ricard, fullback from the Ravens. I agree, because they're about the only team that uses a fullback, and he's the size of an offensive tackle. 6'3", 300-pound fullback.
He's a monster.
Yeah. Wide receivers: Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase. Travis Kelce is not going to be there as a tight end. He's in the Super Bowl. Dawson Knox is in as a replacement. I like that. And Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Offensive linemen: Laramie Tunstall, Teron Armstead, Orlando Brown, Deion Dawkins, Joel Bitonio, Quentin Nelson, but he's out due to injury, so Joe Thuney's taking his place. But he's got to be replaced, and you end up with Roger Saffold from the Bills. And Wyatt Teller of the Browns. Creed Humphrey, well, he can't play. He's in the Super Bowl. Mitch Morse and Ben Jones are the centers. Now on defense, you got Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and Trey Hendrickson as the defensive ends. No complaints there. Quinnen Williams, Jeffrey Simmons are the D tackles because Chris Jones is in the Super Bowl.
Soon to be Detroit Lion, Quinnen Williams.
That's a rumor, but I'd love it. Cameron Hayward is the replacement as the alternate on the D line from the Steelers. No complaint there. He's good.
Yeah.
Matt Judon, Khalil Mack and TJ Watt are both injured and being replaced by Bradley Chubb and Matt Milano. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith and CJ Mosley. And here are your cornerbacks. Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain, Marlon Humphrey, and Xavier Howard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Safeties are Minka Fitzpatrick, Derwin James, and Jordan Poyer.
Poyer's hurt, isn't he?
No. Poyer came back and played in that last
Poyer
game.
played. Micah Hyde was the one who got hurt.
Yeah, Micah Hyde's been out most of the year. That's why DeMar Hamlin got started getting starter time. The punter is A.J. Cole replacing Tommy Townsend of the Chiefs. Devin Duvernay was supposed to be the return specialist, but he's injured, so he's replaced by Jamal Agnew. And the other one is Justin Hardy of the Jets. Now the NFC roster.
Wait, who's the kicker?
It didn't say. Just had two punters listed, and then
I guess
I think maybe Justin Hardy probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the NFC one. Jalen Hurts, he's in the Super Bowl. It's Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff. Holy shit. Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins? Running backs. Saquon Barkley. Tony Pollard's injured. He's out. Miles Sanders in the Super Bowl. He's out. Christian McCaffrey is a replacement. And then they added Saquon Barkley again. That can't happen. Delvin Cook is the last one. Kyle Juszczyk is the fullback, but he's the only true fullback in the NFC too. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, and Amon-Ra gets to replace A.J. Brown.
Nice.
George Kittle and T.J. Hawkinson are the tight ends. Oh, so in other words, we'll run when Kittle's on the field and pass when Hawkinson's on the field, right?
Right.
Offensive tackles. Trent Wilson, Tristan Wirfs, Penei Sewell, who's replacing Lane Johnson.
You know, Lane Johnson was a 0-star college recruit.
Yeah. Offensive guards are Zach Martin and Chris Lindstrom and Elton Jenkins from the Packers, who replaces Landon Dickerson. Should have been Jonah Jackson. Just saying.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey's in the Super Bowl, so the starter is Frank Ragnow, and the replacement is Tyler Bidays for the Cowboys. Defensive ends are Nick Bosa, Brian Burns, and DeMarcus Lawrence. The defensive tackles are Jonathan Allen, Dexter Lawrence, and Aaron Donald, because he finally came back for the last game of the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Outside linebackers are Micah Parsons, Zadarius Smith, and Daniil Hunter, who replaces Hassan Reddick.
Yep.
Inside linebackers are Fred Warner and Demario Davis of the Saints. No complaint there. Cornerbacks, Tariq Woolen, rookie. Trayvon Diggs, boo. Jalen Ramsey is the replacement for Darius Slay. Quandre Diggs for the Seahawks. Good Lord. Buda Baker, and Talanoa Hafanga of the 49ers.
He's a beast.
The kicker is Jason Myers. The punter is Tress Way. Return specialist is Cavante Turpin of the Cowboys, the guy they picked up from the USFL. And special teamer is Jeremy Reeves.
Can I say something real quick? Did you know
Wait a
Josh
minute.
Allen actually is also skipping it because he wants to play in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am?
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Khalif Raymond made All-Pro, but he's not the Pro Bowl returner?
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
votes.
Votes. Fan vote.
That's why All-Pro means something. Pro Bowl does not.
Yeah, because All-Pro
Turpin's good.
All-Pro is based off of your stats and also the writers that put you in, whereas this is a fan vote.
What, you're telling me that Dallas Kickers mayor didn't make the Pro Bowl? Shocking.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Jeremy. Didn't mean to fucking, give all
You're
Linda
trying to kill me.
Lovelace on you.
Wait, I'm confused by Keegan. Do you understand Keegan's question? What touch thing?
I don't know what
Will?
Hutch is in. What are you talking about, Keegan?
He is in after halftime during the what?
I don't know if you know this, Big Dan, but prior to the season, Patrick Mahomes banned Brittany and Jackson from coming to the games because of their antics.
Thank goodness.
So I doubt they'll be at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say, notice you haven't heard or seen anything about either one of them in
Months.
weeks and weeks and weeks.
It's been like since about week 4.
Oh, we did ban them. Damn. Thank God.
Oh, it was a big thing. They talked about it all over Good Morning Football that day.
That's a good
great.
show.
I love it. Speaking of which, Jamal Williams is on there.
Is what's her name still Kay Adams still the host?
Kay Adams left Good Morning Football.
Who is it now? Is it Traeger? It's not Traeger still, is it?
No, Schrager's still on there, but it's a different girl. But anyways, Jamal Agnew was on there yesterday, and they were talking about it on ESPN this morning, and I got to address it because I thought it was pretty funny. Because they asked him about all the fines he got. He goes, well, I guess I'm not allowed to celebrate because it's too sexy. So I think I got to come up with a new end zone celebration. I think I'm just going to sit down like a little kid and pout.
That is hilarious.
Did you catch that, Dom?
He should throw a pacifier in a waistband and start sucking on it like a baby.
That is exactly what Max Kellerman said. He goes, it'd be great. Like a Penei Sewell kneels down and he cradles into Miss Penei Sewell's arm, and Jared Goff comes over and goes, "That's okay."
Yeah. Burp the baby, burp the baby, burp the baby.
No, just rubs his head like, "Oh, it's okay."
or just go and like strike the pose like he's gonna do what he normally does, and then just be like,
what was his pose?
He would just shake his hips a little bit, like a salsa dance.
Yeah, he would do like an Elvis move. Yeah. I mean, it was literally like an Elvis move.
Did anyone see the commercial that he's in with Cam?
Well, Elvis, when he first went on TV, they shot him from the waist up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Keegan said he's in a commercial with Cam Hayward.
Yeah, he's in a no. They were showing different celebrations around the league, and it's the Super Bowl teaser. And they showed Jamal Williams doing his end zone dance, and they showed Cam Hayward doing his sack thing for the Steelers. And I was like, well, it's good enough to use in the Super Bowl commercial, but it gets him a fine if he does it in the game. It makes no sense.
That's so Lions.
Hey, at least it's not the Key and Peele taunting thing.
It might as well be.
That's why I get to think of a Kringle.
Well, it's like
Exactly what I'm
how
talking
stupid
about.
the Ocho Cinco shit was. Like, oh, he pulled a Sharpie out of the fucking end zone fucking pad.
No, that was Joe
on the
Horn.
goalpost dead.
That was Terrell Owens
No,
that pulled the
and Joe
Sharpie out
Horn.
and signed a football. And Joe
Joe
Horn
Horn
did
was
it
the
too.
cell phone.
No, Horn was the cell phone. My bad.
Yep. He pulled his cell phone out and did a selfie.
No, Ocho Cinco was the one that had the Sharpie, wasn't it?
It was Terrell Owens.
It was T.O.
All right. Well, Ocho Cinco got fined too for some.
Yeah, he
crazy-
got fined because he refused to wear normal cleats. He was one of the first ones that would have specially painted cleats for each game. And then he also, for all those celebrations, like the one where they pretended they were the rowing team, and then he got in trouble for the one where he
He also got in trouble
guys
for signing
remember
a
he
football
did the-
too, though.
Do you guys remember he did
He
the
signed a
river
football
dance?
for somebody, and it was a football that he signed for like a kid that had cancer, and they fined him for that.
that was T.O. I remember that.
That's what I just said. And Ocho Cinco also got
T.O.
fined
did
for,
propose to a cheerleader, and he did the popcorn thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
And Ocho Cinco got fined for like some other where he also
who was
signed
the
like a
one who
towel
used-
or his jersey or some shit like
Who was-
that.
It was his
Tossed it to
jersey.
the fan.
It was his
Who
jersey.
was the one who used the pylon as the putter? Was that Ocho Cinco?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, actually, that was.
it?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
I remember that.
But the best
Like,
one
dude,
was who used.
I
like.
actually met Ocho Cinco. He came into my store.
Cool.
I want to say like 15 years ago. No, like Ocho Cinco was fucking. Owens was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
His
okay.
dad was a raging asshole. Okay. And so it was like, I'm sitting there helping him out, whatever. Finally, his dad's like, you know who this is? You know who this is? I'm like, yeah, I do. Oh, you don't watch football. You don't know who this is. Yeah, I actually watch football, and I know exactly who your son is. And he's like, oh, yeah, you don't know who he is. I'm like, Chad Owens, Ocho Cinco. And his dad's like, oh, well, I'm surprised you know who he is. Well, why didn't you ask him for his autograph and everything else like that? And the whole time, Chad was like, seriously, like, Dad? Like, he was embarrassed. I could tell he's embarrassed.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, first of all, I was like, first of all, like, if I'm at a football game when your son's working, I would beg for his autograph. He's out with his family right now, and I'm not going to bother him. And all of a sudden, Ocho Cinco basically fist bumps me. He's like, dude, I like you. And he signed a bunch of shit for me. Just randomly did.
Okay. Now.
And he looked at his dad. It's like, this is how it's done, Dad.
Eric.
Yep.
Okay. The best celebration was the one that Randy Moss did at the Packers when the Minnesota Vikings beat him.
Oh, the
when he used.
one?
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
shit.
will you let me tell it, please? I'm trying to talk. When he used the pylon,
I know
like
what you're
toilet
talking
paper,
about.
right on the goalpost.
Oh, Joe
Yep,
Buck
I
was like,
remember that.
that's a disgusting act.
It was
fake moon?
hilarious. No, when he pretended like he was wiping his butt.
Oh, that was after that.
Yep.
That was like the encore.
I remember that one.
Yeah, the fake moon was in the first half. At the end of the game, when he scored the go-ahead touchdown to put it out of reach, he pretended like he pulled down his pants and he wiped his butt up and down on the
That's perfect.
goalpost. That was
I
great.
remember that. That was hilarious. And Joe Buck making a big spectacle of it.
Of course he would.
Only time in his life Joe Buck ever tried to show some emotion.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, like him and Tony Romo.
I'm going to
spent
disagree with that. The most emotion I
cash.
ever seen out of Joe Buck was the scene with DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
real, I agree.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And
Buck
for
and
all of
Anthony,
you guys, that keep saying that, oh, he's actually dead and it's all fake, Damar Hamlin released on his Instagram today that he has signed up with the American Red Cross to promote a CPR class across the nation about the all hands CPR because that's what saved his life.
exactly.
Andy put a video out to thanking the Bills.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, Hamlin did die twice, but he's
3
still
times.
alive.
No, his heart stopped 3
Oh.
times on the field.
Shit. Oh, never mind the one in the ambulance too. They said that he died in the ambulance too, so that's 4.
Right.
Like, shit.
They
Maybe
used that AED device 3 times on him, which means his heart was totally stopped.
Yep.
And then again, it stopped on the way to the hospital in the ambulance.
I'm just glad he's alive.
He's a miracle.
He's a good kid.
He's a
He's a
miracle.
good kid.
9
And
minutes
he was
of CPR.
also a great kid. And I would.
Yeah, I agree. But 9 minutes of CPR.
Yep. Great kid. Great kid.
And
And I'm glad,
come out of
he's
it-
alive. And no
9
matter if he plays another snap in the NFL or any place, I think he's still gonna have an amazing life as long as other crazy shit doesn't happen.
All right. 9 minutes of CPR. That's 9 minutes without breathing, 9 minutes without the proper oxygen hitting your brain. After 5 minutes of CPR, they usually proclaim people brain dead. So the fact
Right.
he's out here making videos, talking, and doing interviews is amazing. He's a miracle man.
Yep. I agree. I agree 100%.
That being said, it's time for me to do what I normally do. It's time to pay the bills and talk about my sponsors. A1 Tire and Auto Repair, 3 locations to serve you. There is the shop in Cucaulin on Old Cucaulin Road. There is the shop in Bay City on Broadway and the shop in Saginaw on Genesee. I may be working at any one of them at any time, so stop on in and try to see me. We have great used cars at a great price and great prices on new tires too. And also at the Cucaulin shop, we have TNT Auto Sales where you can find great used vehicles. There's like 3 really nice Ford Fusions, a Chevy Cruze, I think that just sold either yesterday or the day before, 2 of the Chevy Sonics, and I think it's a Saturn View, one of the last models they made, but they're all low mileage. Everything's under 200,000 miles. Nothing newer than a 2010, so they're all in great shape and priced to move. And Mad Lab Custom Creations. That's Dan Leonard's love child, where he creates some masterpieces. And I've got quite a few of them. So if you want to get a personal collection of signed memorabilia, that's the place to get it. Which one do you got there, Eric? I forgot.
The Pat Fitzgerald one.
I've got, let's see, James Robinson, Darius Leonard on a camo. I got an iced out Cam Akers. I've got a Lunar Amon-Ra St. Brown. I've got a Charles Harris on a regular speed VR4. And a Barry Sanders on a flash. And a Justin Jefferson custom drip. I think I got a pretty good collection started.
Nothing beats that Billy Sims jersey, though.
Yeah, that Billy Sims jersey is amazing. Thank you, David Pike, again.
Oh, that was so cool seeing that.
One of the few times I teared up out of joy as an adult. There was my wedding.
You saw me. I rubbed my eyes a little bit. There was dust. There was dust in the pizzeria.
Is there video on it?
No video. But
no, we didn't have
let's
video.
see, there was my wedding.
Lions Fan Fest. But
let's see. I got Brian Thurcushion. Are referees going to be discussed in the spring NFL meeting, boys? Yes, they actually are. Sheila
Yes.
Hamp has gotten with the owners that was up in arms over the end of the Rams Seahawks game and the way the officiating went. And she is actually proposing with them that they bring in the sky judge like they do in NCAA, and also they did it in the AAF, and they did it in the XFL.
And USFL.
Oh, they did it in USFL too. Okay. But what the
Yes,
sky
sir.
judge is, it's totally different than the replay like we see now. If a call happens and they don't agree with it, they call down and there's a stoppage immediately. It is reviewed immediately. It doesn't matter what kind of play. It could be a ball spot. It could be a bad call. It could be a no call. It could be any number of things or a wrong call on the field. And they are given 30 seconds to review it by an instant replay thing up there in the booth. And that is to be at every game, not just the last 2 minutes of the game. This is not a challenge. And once that review is done, it's done. It can't be overturned. But they're only given 30 seconds, and they can call down. They say, okay, the rule is upheld. The rule's overturned. Reset the clock to this, and then the game moves forward. And the reason why they do it at 30 seconds, guess what? The game still lasts 3.5 to 4 hours like they always do.
Yeah, but
I
it
think
goes into with the play clock.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it to get those calls right.
Like I said, because this will eliminate. Yes, it's for all games, Brian Roy. So it would be amazing if that gets done. I think it's a great opportunity to fix a lot of this refereeing stuff. They already used something similar to that in the NBA too.
Yeah,
Also,
and
maybe
also it's
consider
not-
hiring NFL refs full time because it's the most profitable.
They are now.
No, they're not.
Most watched.
Dom, they are now.
No,
That was
they
official this
definitely
year.
are not.
No, the
It's the
only
most
officials that are
profitable.
full time are NBA.
It's the most profitable. It's the most watched.
Yeah,
And when it
never
comes
mind,
down to
sorry.
it, based on
You're right.
calls, the game's only 17. The season's only 17 games long, so each call is that much more important.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it just got worse and
But
worse
also-
as the year went on.
Let's
Also,
see.
what it
I'm gonna.
does-
I did
What
the
it
math
does
on it.
with that too, with 30-second clock, teams can't run to the fucking line and hurry up and like basically call play and spike the ball to stop that
No,
review.
the
either.
bang bang plays. It may not stop. That's one thing it may not stop
But-
because it didn't stop it in the AAF. It didn't stop it in the USFL. It doesn't stop it in college.
Right.
So it does not stop that. What it does stop are the egregious stuff.
That's what I was trying to say. I mean, that's where I was going with that. Like normal plays, like it doesn't
No.
look like it'd be reviewable. Continue to play.
Right. Like you can't go back and look at, was that a hold? Because there's a hold on almost every play. That's
Yeah.
not
Right.
what they're trying
When
to do.
Devontae Adams hurried up and he was pounding his fist, he knew he didn't fucking catch the ball,
Smith.
and so
Yeah, Devonta
that
Smith.
would actually stop that.
No, because that was a bang bang play. It was in the moment. It wouldn't have stopped it because that
It was
call
too
wouldn't
hard
have got
to tell.
even the replay officials afterwards. Gene Cessatore says, "You know what? We're looking at every angle because there's 27 angles out here." He goes, "It's way different when it's in the moment, and in the moment, it looked like a catch."
It did.
It did.
We all thought it was a catch until we saw that 15th replay.
Yeah, it took like let's be honest, it was the 8th replay probably, but anyways,
Well,
but it was after
that's
the
point.
touchdown was already
You-
scored though.
Right. Right.
He goes,
Yeah, but
they did
that's the thing is with the USFL thing, they knew, and that's why it would kind of slow down the progression. That's
No, it
where
doesn't.
The USFL rule comes in.
That's where you're missing it. It doesn't change that play because in real time
right.
it looked like a catch.
I could be wrong, but the USFL rule kind of put it into where that would be like, you can't snap it because it could be under consideration. But
No, if you're trying to catch a
could be
team
wrong.
off, that's catching a team off guard. That's part the hurry up offense That can happen at any time in a game, not just the last 2 minutes.
True.
Well, yeah, that was
Right.
even the last
The
2
only way
minutes.
that changes is if Frisco throws that challenge flag immediately, and they had
Right.
about 5 seconds to throw it.
And they said on the replay they saw up in the monitor, it looked like a catch because it
Right.
showed it from the backside. You didn't see the front side part of that play until eight replays after it.
Right. And
When
so
they were
early in the
bragging
game.
about it.
And
They
so
were
early in the game, are you really going to throw that challenge flag?
And as a matter of fact, when that replay happened, it was just before the first play of the San Francisco drive after the touchdown.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just basing it on how the USFL rule goes. It's kind of like something like that where it looked like a guy could.
You're missing the point here.
Possession. Well,
If it looks like a catch in real time, that's not going to be reviewed.
And the other thing is what a lot of people fail to realize ever since replay challenges existed, the most important thing is the call on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because it has to be indisputable evidence.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
Brian Roy says they have to do it now, in my opinion, and it should have been done years ago, in my opinion. Yeah, 4 years ago when it started in college is probably when it should have been adapted into the NFL. Very rarely does college bring something in that's not in the NFL.
Very true.
Well, it's been a great show. I want to thank everybody for coming on. I want to thank everybody who's been watching. We've had a steady stream of comments. Thank you so much. DC, Brian Roy, Keegan Eckert, Patty Grimes, Mark Malik, all of you guys for watching. Aaron Glenn for popping in and giving his 2 cents. Whether it's fake or real.
Your dad. You can't forget
and
your dad.
Of course, my dad. But this has been Kneecap Biting for Smoking Jeremy B. Anybody got any parting shots? Will?
Nope.
Dom?
Can't wait till Super Bowl show.
Dom?
Trade down.
Eric?
Trade down. I agree with Dom 100%.
And I'm going to end the show the same way I always do. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B, and we are signing out.
Spay and neuter your pets.